Welcome, 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 and Happy New Year. It is the year of the dragon, and we're going to set up my bullet journal. Mr. Darcy, he's excited for a new year of art and adventure, and if we haven't met, I'm Viv. This is Art with Viv, and let's just jump into it. Now, this is my journal. It's less expensive than other journals. I really like it, though. It holds up well. The paper holds up well. This is not a sponsored video. This is just the kind of journals that I use for right now, and they're called Sequest, SEQES. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but that's how you spell it. And so it's just a nice little bullet journal. It's got a little pocket in the back. It's 160 pages, so it only actually lasts me for 6 months. So let's get started on that 2024 cover page. Now, this is the Year of the Dragon. Technically, the Year of the Dragon does not start until February, but I am just going to do my little thing the way I want to do it. So my cover page is going to be, since the bulk of the year is going to be the Year of the Dragon, it's a dragon. I've already sketched it out, and I put it on marker paper because I wanted it, I'm going to attach it into my journal. And I didn't want all those little dots on it because for my Patreons, they're going to get this as a gift that they can download and print out and frame or whatever they want to do it. So it's going to be a little piece of artwork for my Patreons. If you're interested in Patreon, you can join. It's only $5 a month. There is a free version, but you won't get this dragon as a download in the free version, but you'll still get some other goodies by the week. So now I've got this on marker paper, got it sketched out. I'm using my Tombow dual end markers, and I'm just coloring it in. I don't really know what color Chinese dragons are supposed to be. They may have colors, specific colors associated with them, but I'm not sure that they do. I don't know that much about them. So I'm just coloring it in the way that I want my little dragon to be. I'm doing some warm and cool colors. I'm doing some nice oranges and yellows, and then kind of calming it back down with some blues and greens so that it has a nice combination of warm and cool complements, and it really looks visually pleasing. So the dragon is a really interesting creature in Chinese culture. It represents good luck, strength, health. It is the male element of yang, and it's the only animal in the Chinese zodiac that is a mythological creature. All the rest are real, actual creatures that are found here on Earth, but not the dragon. It's also assumed that the emperors were descended from dragons, when long time ago. I don't think it's still assumed that way, but I don't know. And it is also thought, the dragon is part of the Chinese zodiac, and it has the 5th spot on the zodiac, in the zodiac wheel. They thought when they did it, the way that they chose which animal would go with which year is they had a race. Now, I'm just kind of paraphrasing this. You'll have to go deep dive on the myth. But they had a race, and it was thought that the dragon would be the very first one to come in first on the race, but it was not. It was the rat. The dragon ended up coming in 5th because it stopped along the way to provide some rain for a village that needed rain. So it's very, I want to say, altruistic in a way. It wants to be very benevolent. It wants to help. So it didn't come in until the 5th place, but the emperor was still very, very impressed with him stopping to help the villagers, giving rain. That's another thing. Dragons are associated with being able to control rain, water, storms, things like that. It's a really interesting creature. It's a lot different than the ones that we have in the Western world that are just death, destruction, intimidation. They just want to breathe fire on you and burn you up. The ones in the Western world. Chinese, however, are very good-natured and a symbol of luck. And going back to Chinese astrology, children born in the Year of the Dragon are thought to be good leaders and have a very fortunate life. So I think that's pretty cool. And they are also beautiful, wise, and friendly. Again, very unlike those Game of Thrones dragons that were decidedly not friendly and decidedly not good natured, especially once they burn down everything in their path near the end. So I thought that was pretty interesting to let you know about the dragon. Now on my dragon, I made his head with some red flames coming out. His face is green. The scales I've done in different shades of blues and greens so that it sort of alternates. I left a little bit of white right on the edges of the scales so that it gives it a little bit of a highlight. His underbelly I am going to do in a nice yellow. His feet and his tail are also in a nice yellow, but I am going to change it to green. I want his feet to be like that bright green to match his face. So I'm just coming back in there with my green Tombow marker and putting in some green. Later I'm going to blend it, just blend it in with the yellow so that it's a nice bright green. I want his tail to, of course, match his face. So we're going in with some oranges and some reds on top of that yellow base that we put down. And then we can just blend that together. You can either use the really lightest yellow marker to blend all those colors together, or you can take your clear blender that has just the clear blender that comes with the Tombow markers, well, that came with the set that I have, and just blend that all in and make it look more like a gradient than just, colors layered on just right beside of each other. You just want to blend those in. Now to the yellow flames going down his back, I'm coming back in with a little orange and a little red. We like that. He is starting to shape up. I don't normally paint dragons or color dragons or anything like that, but for this one I thought, yeah, we'll color this dragon. I want to do a dragon. Fun fact, my husband was born in the year of the dragon, my daughter was born in the year of the dragon, and her boyfriend was born in the year of the dragon. So we got all kinds of luck running around here and goodness. So that is another reason. It's kind of like a little nod to them. So I'm excited that this is their year. And I just wanted to pay a little bit of homage, however you want to say it. And I don't care. Say it however you want to them as well. The other thing is my son's girlfriend. She is from Taiwan. And so she celebrates the Year of the Dragon. She loves the Chinese Lunar New Year. It's like their Christmas to us. She did not grow up celebrating Christmas, so her Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, is much like our Christmas. It's really celebrated. It's looked forward to. She was here on Thanksgiving, and she really let me in on a lot of the stuff that goes on, the traditions and the festivals. It sounded so good, and I could tell she missed it. So this is a little nod to her and her traditions. And I don't know, she may be in our family, married. They may get married. I don't know. If they do, I welcome her with open arms. She is just a really fabulous human being. So now once I've got my dragon, I've got him all colored in the way I want him, I'm just taking one of my pens and just going around and outlining him to give him a little bit more definition. And then I'm going to take my white acrylic pen. I've got him all outlined. I didn't want to like I said, this was a 5-hour ordeal, so I am not showing every little thing, but it's really simple. It's just coloring. Y'all can color. You know how to color, and you don't even have to use the same colors I did. So again, back to my white Posca pen, and I'm just adding highlights right on the tips of those scales, giving them just a little bit of definition and a little bit of sparkle. And I'm really proud of this dragon. I really like the way that he turned out. I think he's really pretty. He's colorful. So for the other side of my cover page, I decided to do sort of a Chinese border, and I started out using my ruler. Then I got aggravated. Then I made some mistakes with it. And then I got aggravated again. And I ended up throwing the ruler to the side because it was causing me more problems than it was helping me. And I decided just to freehand that bad boy. Still made a mistake. But I just took some white gouache and just whited that out. Is that a word? I whited it out. Anyway, at the end, you'll see that I corrected my mistakes. You'll see them here, but at the end, I do correct them. Then I decided I might try the ruler again. I'm telling you, I was all over the place with this design because I really just didn't know. There's me trying to mark out that mistake. But later on, I just took regular P.H. Martin's, Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white and marked and painted over it, and it disappeared. Or disappeared enough for me. So then I finally, after lots of struggle, got that doggone Chinese border in. And then I decided to do the 2024 on lanterns. And the Lantern Festival, I think it usually comes at the end of the celebration of the Chinese Lunar New Year celebrations. I'm not 100% sure, don't hold me to it, but I think it is like sort of like the end part, and it's the longest festival. It's the one that's most looked forward to. And the lanterns symbolize driving out darkness and bringing hope to the coming year. In the olden times, the Lantern Festival was one of the few times that unmarried girls and unmarried boys could actually meet each other. I don't know how it is here in modern times. I was researching, the history of it. So this was back in the day. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And lanterns in China, Taiwan, those cultures, they come in all kinds of different shapes. They are either rectangular, oblong, round, just gorgeous. So what I've done with my lanterns is in the very middle, I did a really, really pale yellow. Then I encircled that with a deeper yellow, and then I went with an orange around that. And then on the very outer edges, I did the bright Chinese red color. And then I just took a one of those clear blenders that came with my set, and I just blended all of those colors together, trying to leave the center yellow so that it looks like it's glowing within. Then I just took some blue and did the top and bottom parts of each lantern. With my pens, I just went ahead and outlined it and drew some veins. It looks a little wonky, but it's all right. I'm not gonna sweat it. I'm just going to have some wonky looking lanterns. Did the same thing for all of them. Added the little top and the bottom part, made that blue. And then I just outlined each of the numbers of 2024 so that you could see them in the middle. And just did a little bit of stippling to darken those up so that you could see them a little bit better. And then at the end, I'm just going to draw some blue lines to match those blue caps and the blue bottoms, and put some blue tassels on the bottom. I don't know if this is a correct color combination in China, but again, it's my bullet journal. This is my celebration, and I'm going to make things the color that I want them. So I really like the way they came out, even if they're a little bit catty-wonka. Now I just need to put some hangers on them where they're hanging from the ceiling, and some tassels, just some decorative tassels. I decided to go with the blue to match the caps, and then blue tassels to match the bottoms. And the other reason I chose blue is because blue gives you a little bit of relief from all those warm colors. So then I just put them into my bullet journal. And then we're going to work on the future log. Now, the future log is really simple. All I did was I drew a bunch of circles and spelled out future log. Then I turned those circles into lanterns to symbolize the Chinese Lantern Festival. And I just did the same exact type of coloring, really pale yellow in the center, really bright red on the outer parts, and just a little bit of orange in between, just between that red and that yellow. And then just took that and blended that together. Again, you can blend it using the really pale yellow just by coloring over that, or you can use your clear blender. Once that was dry, I just took my black Tombow marker and just wrote in future log. And I tried to do a little bit of an Asian style font or something that Westerners look at as Asian style. Let's put it that way. And I just wrote in the future log. Then I decided I was going to go with gold for these caps. So I got out my gold acrylic marker, and it's a nice metallic gold. I added some tassels to the bottom, some toppers, some beads, and some little hangers to hang them with. Once that was done, I just went ahead and drew in or wrote in all of the months and all of the days of the month. And then under that, I left space to write like important dates or appointments or anything I'm going to have for that month. It's got plenty of space under it. Of course, I drew black outlines to separate each month. And then on the bottom, I'm just doing a really simple pattern that reminds me of sort of Chinese patterns. I don't know if it is an actual, from China pattern, but it reminds me of it. So I put it in my journal, and I'm just going to do, it's like little half circles, and I'm just coloring them in red, and then taking that same gold that I used up there for the tassels and for the little caps in my lanterns, just taking that same metallic gold and doing little rainbow, just little half circles inside of the red, little lines. And it shows up really great against that red. I love that metallic. And then we're just going to do little half circles in between each of the other half circles. Actually, these look more like 1/8 circles, but your imagination, those are full circles behind these circles in the front. Just use your imagination. And again, with the metallic pen, we're just drawing in some little half circles or some little lines inside. And I think that looks pretty good. It may not be an authentic Chinese type trim, but it reminds me of China, and it's my bullet journal. So there we go. And then I decided to take my black pen and just go right in there and add a few shadows into that gold, the gold caps and the hangers and the tassels, just to give it a little bit more dimension, just so they would show up a little bit better on the page. Although they're showing up pretty good, but I just wanted to give them a little something extra. And there's our future log. So then the next thing, after we get our future log, I'm going to do yearly reflection. It was really my simplest layout. I just wrote reflect at the top, colored it in with my black pen, and then I just drew 4 squares underneath that. And then on the other page, I drew in my word for the year and then some goals. So this one was pretty easy, nothing to it. I'm just using my black Micron pen, or you could use your Tombow marker. I don't know why I went for the black Micron pen, I just did. So in my 4 squares, what I want to keep doing this year, what do I want to improve doing this year, what I want to start doing this year, and what I want to stop doing. That's what those little squares are going to be lists of. Keep doing what's working, improve what could be better, start doing things I need to start doing to, reach my goals in the new year, and things I need to absolutely stop doing. And then I decided to do just some little flower shapes, baby cherry blossoms, I don't know, they're just little red flower shapes. And then I just took my gold pen and drew some designs on the inside of them, just here and there, just the little dots in the center, and then lines kind of radiating out. Then I colored in my word for the year, which is organized. I want to get organized this year. That's why I'm working on my bullet journal. It's really a focus of mine, because I find the more organized I am, the more productive I am. So that's something I've really worked on this year, and I have improved significantly since I started bullet journaling. And then the other 4 squares are just for goals of things I want to try to do and improve in this new year. Personal goals, health goals, financial goals, and relationship goals. So I just colored in my red little tab here where I'm going to put my word organized. This is my word of the year, the one that I'm going to try to keep as my word that I'm going to keep trying to do. And then I just wrote organized in there. I trimmed it out with gold, added a few more of those little sort of cherry blossom shapes in the red. And of course, I'm going to come back and add a little bit of gold to those just to dress it up. It's just a simple little layout. It's probably the simplest. Well, it is the simplest. And I'm just going to kind of tidy it up, clean up all of those stray pencil marks so that it looks nice. Add in those gold touches where I forgot to a minute ago. And that just gives a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of je ne sais quoi. There we go. And there is our reflection layout. I decided to go ahead and put some shadows on the word organized so that it would pop out just a little bit better from the red. Next, we're going to do the January cover page. And this one is really one of my favorites. Again, I sketched it out on marker paper because this is going to be a downloadable for the Dabblers tier in my Patreon group. Now, if you're a free member, you won't get this, but the $5 a month for Dabblers, this will be part of your monthly treats. So they won't get it, but if you're a paying member, you will definitely get this, and it is a phoenix. And phoenix are very, very interesting in Chinese culture. Now, a Chinese phoenix is different than like a Western phoenix. The Chinese phoenix, it doesn't die. It's immortal. It doesn't die and come back from the ashes like a Western one does. It's already immortal. It don't need none of that. In the olden days, the phoenix was said to have had the beak of a rooster, the face of a swallow, the forehead of a fowl, the neck of a snake, a breast of a goose, back of a tortoise, hindquarters of a stag, and the tail of a fish. Now that had to be one hellacious creature right there. But today, in more modern times, the phoenix is thought to have the head of a golden pheasant, the body of a mandarin a mandarin drunk. Oh my goodness. My tongue got wrapped around my eye teeth. I couldn't say what I was saying. So we'll start over. The head of a golden pheasant, the body of a mandarin duck, the tail of a peacock, the legs of a crane, the mouth of a parrot, and the wings of a swallow. And I did this one the same way that I did the dragon. I decided the head would be red. I don't know what color a golden pheasant's head is. And to be honest with you, I didn't even research it. I just drew it out and then put the colors the way I wanted them. So my colors probably are not matching what a Chinese phoenix would look like, and that's okay. But also, which I thought was pretty interesting, each part of his body is thought to be part of the celestial, represent part of the celestial bodies. Like the head is the sky, the eyes is the sun, the back is the moon, wings the wind, feet the earth, tail are the planets. And so it's really pretty interesting. Now, it is thought to be the king or queen of birds, since it does represent the female side, whereas the dragon represents the male side, the yang. So it's the yin and the yang. And when these are paired with dragons, they symbolize harmony and perfection. They symbolize love and matrimony. And they are thought to bring harmony and prosperity and high virtue. So that's just some of the interesting facts about them. They also sometimes come in specific colors, like black, white, red, yellow, or green, and those mean things. I can't remember what it means, so I'm not even going to go with that. Now, both the Western and the Western phoenix and the Chinese phoenix are related to the sun, or thought to be, of the sun and have something to do with that. So I thought that was pretty good. So now I have just glued this in now that I finished my phoenix. Again, I did him just like I did the dragon. I probably used some of the same colors. And now I'm just doing my quote page. It's a simple layout. And my quote for this year is find out who you are and do it on purpose. And that was by Dolly Parton. And I think everybody loves Dolly Parton. If you don't love Dolly Parton, me and you cannot be friends. We can't be friends. So I decided to do some more of those sort of flower designs with the red and the gold. And I colored in the gold first with my gold marker, and then I came in with the red, and my red messed up the gold. So later on, I'm just going to go ahead and use my metallic gold marker. I also colored in the fan down here, and all I did was I just alternated dark red with light red to make it look like a fan, and just tipped it with gold and made the center part gold. And that's all there was to it. Then I just am taking my golden sort of metallic pen there and drawing in the lines and drawing in some designs across the fan to make it look more finished. It was really simple. All you do is you just draw half a circle, make the top into little rectangles, and then color each one an opposite color. Dark red, light red, dark red, light red. Now we're going to the monthly setup. Now this is my month of January. I just wrote January down the side. It's also a simple layout. I just have a fan with some flowers at the top, a little Chinese fan, flowers and some butterflies around it. And it's going to be predominantly red, just like most everything starting out here. I really wanted to start this year with some bright, enthusiastic colors, and I just can't think of any more than red, orange, blue, and green. I mean, they are enthusiastic. This has two little butterflies, also has some pink roses on it. I'm using my gold metallic pen again to draw in the lines that separate each segment of the fan and the tassel at the bottom. And then I'm just taking my micro pen, outlining everything, giving the petals of the flowers some shape so they don't look like just pink blobs, outlining my cute little butterflies. And then we're just going to write in January down the side of the calendar. And then we're just going to draw in the lines of the calendar. I am not bothering with the ruler. I've had enough of that ruler. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. I know this is a calendar. It's my calendar. It can be just as crooked as it wants to be because I'm just not fooling with that ruler. So I'm just hand drawing it in. And art doesn't have to be perfect. It can be beautifully imperfect. And that's how this one's going to be. It's just going to be I'm going to call it organic. It's going to be organic. Then I just put in the days of the week and then the dates into the calendar, and we've almost finished. Then I think I'm going to do a little dragon here at the bottom in January. Now, if you think I'm going to do dragons in February, even though that's when the New Year is, you got a rude awakening. I'm going to do all about Valentine's Day for my February theme. But for this theme, I'm still going with the dragons. And this little dragon, I just drew him out. He's sort of like a little snake dragon. Again, I'm going with the green and the reds. I'm trying to stay with the same color theme throughout. He's got a red fringes around his mouth, red fringes coming off the back of his head, a yellow tummy, more red fringes on his tail. So I'm trying to do him a little similar to that first dragon, but not quite. He's not as detailed. This is just a little dragon. I'm doing him light green and then adding in some dark green and blending those together just so that it looks like he is undulating. What a big word, undulating. So it looks like he is waving, like his body is going in waves. And then I'm just blending that with the lighter green. I'm putting darker green on top and then coming back with the lighter green and blending those two together. That is the one thing I love about Tombow markers. You can blend them using the colors or with the clear blender. Now I'm checking back to make sure what color I made my other dragon so that I can keep them pretty uniform. And I made the other dragon's feet green, so we're going all in on green on this one's feet. Oh, another thing I read about dragons is, the more important ones have more toes. The 5-toed dragons are more associated with emperors. And I can't remember what the 3-toed dragons and all that is. I just remember that the 5-toed dragons are associated with emperors. So there we go. Now I'm just going to outline him, just give him a little definition. He looks sort of just like a little blob of colors down here. Some take my micron pen. I don't know what size, I don't remember. But I'm thinking that's a size 5, maybe, or an 05. And I'm just drawing a few scales where his belly is, the yellow part of his belly, so that you know that it's different from his top part, especially since he's undulating and twisting there. And I really like this dragon too. I really like this theme. I know I should have saved it for February since that's the actual Lunar New Year, but I didn't. So now we're going to my content planner. My content planner, all I do is I cut 2 pieces of red paper, the same size as my journal, fold it in half. We're going to connect this to the journal, but only on the side that is closest to the crease. And what it essentially does is give you an extra 2 pages of content planning surface. You have 2 tip-in pages, 2 pages right here, and then you tip in, you'll have 2 more pages on each side. So that just makes it plenty of room for plenty of content. And then I'm just, through the magic, going to show you how I did it. Boom. And there you go. YouTube, my Tuesdays tips, social media, Patreon, all that can be planned there. Now I'm going to show you my weekly setup, and this is my last setup to start this year. And I, of course, got a phoenix up here, and he is flying into week 1. And I didn't even look back at my other phoenix. I just decided I was going to do the colors the way I wanted to. So he's having a golden and a red head. Okay, maybe I cheated a little bit and looked a little bit, but I didn't copy it, the colors exactly. I just went with whatever. And again, the same way that I did that first dragon, I just colored in, each section the color that I wanted it. Then I'd add a little bit of the darker of the same color, like a little darker blue, a little darker green, whatever color was my base color, I would go a little bit darker for the details, and then just blend it together. See, I'm coming back in with that darker blue in those wing feathers, and then taking the lighter blue and coloring right over that darker blue to blend it out into the lighter side. It's really simple to use these Tombow watercolor markers. I love them. I love them. I forgot how much I love them. I was doing gouache so much. Oh, and don't think I'm giving up on gouache. I'm just taking a break on this one because I wanted to do it in super bright colors that this Tombow markers could give me. I wanted this to be very vibrant. If you look at Chinese dragons, they are usually very bright, vibrant and bright, and that's what I was going for. And my phoenix is very vibrant and bright too. So I'm going in there in his tummy. I'm doing scales. I'm leaving white spaces in between each scale. Coming back in with the darker green, and then with the lighter green, I am going to blend that out. And that looks so pretty. I love the way that comes out. This is probably one of my favorite themes so far. Oh, this is the beginning of the year. Let me qualify that. Since last year, this is probably one of my favorite themes that I've been doing since I've been doing bullet journals. Although I really do love the woodlands theme. So now his tail, I've decided to start with red near his body, then go to orange, and then go to yellow and end it with blue. That was my own, that's just my own color combination. According to the myths, their tails are like peacock feathers, but mine has red tail because it's mine, my phoenix. And yours can have a pink tail if you want it, or whatever. I don't care, whatever color tail. Use your imagination. That's the best part about mythological creatures, is you can make it up as you go. Yeah, people can complain, but you can say, hey, it's not even a real creature. I can paint it like I want to. So that's all I've done with this phoenix. I really like how bright it is, and I decided to do my weekly horizontally, my days horizontally. I was doing them vertically, but for this layout I decided to do I decided to do it horizontally. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this throughout the weeks, if I might change it. I'm going to see how this works out for me. And if it works out, then I'm going to keep it for the next week or throughout this month and maybe change up in February. I don't know. Again, once I get those colors down, I am taking either the really light yellow or taking that clear blender and blending all those colors so that it looks like a gradation from red to yellow. Now remember, when you're using your clear or when you're using your lighter color, that they are self-cleaning. But what I mean by that is I have on my side here, which you cannot see, I have a scrap sheet of marker paper, and after I get through blending, I take the marker and I rub it across that scrap sheet of paper so that it gets rid of all that excess color, so that it doesn't come back when you're trying to color into a new color and you'll have some of that old color left on, and then you'll have a big gray mess. So clean it off. Clean the tip of your marker off after you're through blending on a scrap sheet of paper right beside of you. Now I've got my Micron pen. I'm just going to go ahead and add some details, outline him, and he is going to be almost done. Now once he's finished, I'm just going to outline all my boxes I have here. I'm going to outline his box and then the days of the week. And again, I am not using my ruler this time. I just am not in the mood to fool with that thing. So I'm just hand drawing it, hand drawing my lines, just trying to follow along the dots and do the best I can. So we got that half in, and then on this side, and you'll notice I only have 6 boxes for the days of the week. That last box is going to be divided into 2 for the weekend, and I'm starting, since January starts on a Monday, I'm starting my week on a Monday. So it'll go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that. And then the last 2 blocks will be divided for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Going ahead and coloring in those tops where I'm going to put in the names. And we have week 1 here, so I'm just going to color that in with my shiny gold. Just go ahead and write in the days of the week and then write in the days of the month while gold is drying down there. No, I did not rub my hand through it, believe it or not. And then I'm just going to color in the week 1 with some blue, and then color in the background with a lighter blue. And then I'm just going to have to write in the days of the week. And up here, that's content for the week. That one box up there all by itself is content for the week. And then we're going to start with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and also put the dates in. Divide that last sticker, and there you go. Oh, I decided I'd add a little red line around my phoenix up here just to give it some more panache. There we go. So this is my 2024 setup. We have the dragon and the lanterns as the cover. We have my future log with the lanterns there, and 6 months out, and then enough space to write whatever I need under there. Then my reflect layout. So keep, improved, start, stop, and then my goals, my personal goals, health goals, financial and relationship goals, and my word for the year organized. Then I have my quote page with Find Out Who You Are and Do It on Purpose by Dolly Parton. And then my January cover page with the beautiful, colorful phoenix. Then we have the January monthly planner calendar where I can write in dates or whatever I need to start my year off with. It is then my content planner, which has plenty of space to plan content for the month. And that is for all 4 places: YouTube, Tuesday's Tips, social media, and Patreon. And then I have my first weekly layout, which is going to be horizontal with the content square to write my content and with the phoenix as my decoration. I hope you have enjoyed this. Thank you for watching and Happy New Year.